And it's not even only like anger against us for like being handsome, but sometimes that anger is like a defense mechanism. It's like they're trying to fight against their own self, you know, like they have a primal attraction. It's like um a reaction, like a, I can't remember the word, a reflex. Almost is like a reflex where they're attracted to handsome men, but at the same time they have some sort of anger that they have to overcome it with logic. Like I remember even not that long ago, there was this girl at this cafe, and it's like she would like flirt with me and stuff, and then like the next time I come in, she'd be like copying me an attitude, and then the next time she'd be nice. Like like one time, you know, like I came in, she's like, "Hey, how have you been? I haven't seen you in so long," blah blah blah. And then I was like, I come in, you know, the next time, and I go to talk to her, and she was like copying me an attitude, and I was like, whoa, okay, I'll go back to my seat. And she was like, that would be nice. You know what I'm saying? Like she did that, and I was like, whoa. So I go back to my seat, you know, but that behavior is not even consistent. She was switching it up every time. And it's like, I remember I bought her a Christmas card, like on Christmas, you know, and then she was like rude after, but then like nice the next time. You know what I'm saying? She was just switching it up, and she was obviously attracted to me. She was like trying to like remembering things that I said from a long time ago and like blushing about it. She was like, oh my gosh, I remember when you told me this, blah 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 blah. And she was like all like smiling, giggly about it, and then the next time she's rude, you know. So it's like why do they have that type of thing? And I think women have a very odd relationship with their primal attraction these days, you know. Like it's not the same, like especially if you look at superheroes from the past. Like for example, in movies, like superheroes were dead serious, like were serious people, and they were like muscular and stuff. But now they got like these movies, these superheroes are like lazy and like I don't know, like they just can't even be taken seriously. Like for example, like, you know, you have like Deadpool, who's like just jokes around and just like he's not even serious. So I think like women are starting to have, or society as a whole is starting to have a problem with like serious masculinity. It's like they don't want to take they want to joke around. It's odd. It's like this weird thing. And like even when I was in high school, the most popular kids who were dating the prettiest women, like these dudes were like, you couldn't even tell if they were a joke. I'm not even serious, or I'm not even kidding. Like these kids would like never even hunt a day in their life, but they had on like a Bass Pro Shop like hat with like a camo jacket and like a rainbow fanny pack with like I don't know, it didn't even make sense. Like they'd be wearing stuff that you couldn't even take as serious. I'm like, bro, you've never hunted a day in your life. You got Bass Pro Shop hat with a rainbow fanny pack. It's like you could never even tell if they were joking. And some of them were like growing mullets and stuff, and it was like you literally could not tell if these dudes were serious or not. I was like, is that a joke, how they're dressing? But these are the dudes who had the girlfriends, because women have a problem with men who actually take themselves seriously and who are actually handsome. You know what I'm saying? It's like they just have a problem with their own primal attraction, you know. And as a handsome man, you might know, like every once in a while, if you approach a woman, they'll light up. They'll be like, they'll think you're, you know, they'll be attracted, and then like 10 seconds later, they'll like turn that smile to a frown, like really quick, and you'll be like, where the hell did that come from? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I've seen women be heck of attracted to me, but then they won't show up on a date, like, or they won't message me back. And I'm like, I can tell, obvious, like they're playing with their hair, this and that and that. You know what's crazy is that I think I actually triggered a woman once who like had sexual assault or something in her past. Like there was this woman, a client, you know, at my work. Not really a client, she was just somebody that will come in every now and again. And I told her, she had like a really nice hairstyle. It was like red and black and blonde. I'd never seen it before. So I was like, oh, that's some really, I like your hair, like that's really cool. Or that looks really neat or something like that, right? And then she was like, she started blushing and smiling and playing with her hair. She's like, oh, thank you, blah, 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 blah. Right? You know, she was getting all like nervous and stuff. And then the next time she came in, I tried talking to her and she's like, sorry, I don't know you, right? And then she came in like a month later and started taking photos of me, right? She started taking photos of me. And I wasn't 100% sure that she was, so I didn't tell anybody, right? But then like 2 months later, I accidentally said hi to her because I didn't recognize her face at first. I just said hi or whatever. She went to my management well, first she came back and started videoing me again and taking photos of me. So I thought, dang, like she really was taking photos of me twice. That's not even the first time. She goes to my management, starts telling her that I was asking for her number, that I was hitting on her, that I was this and that and that, and just making up all this lies, saying that she's gonna post me on her content. So I think she said she's a YouTuber or something like that. So I think that's what she was doing, taking photos of me and posting me on her YouTube account or something like that, which I could actually sue her for if I could even find her a channel. I don't know if it's a YouTube channel or an Instagram channel or account or whatever, but she was making up all these lies, even though she was the one who was attracted to me, right? And then my management, thankfully, came to me and she was like, yeah, like I think that girl was like sexually assaulted or something like that because of some of the things she was saying, and like you just triggered her. You know what I'm saying? Like she was attracted to me, and then I think she had some trauma or something, and it literally triggered her. You know, because the women who have been sexually assaulted, they don't want to feel attracted to a man. So when you actually attract them, when they start to feel some attraction come up in themselves regarding you, they get mad, they get angry, they turn into a vicious like animal, you know? And that's like another thing, is like you might be approaching women as a handsome man, and because of their past, they're literally angry at you. So that's why they're probably lesbians or something like that, because they don't like handsome men. They don't like to feel attraction because it reminds them of some dark past that they have. So that's another thing. And dang, I can mention like a lot of things, you know, like I'm kind of just being sporadic with this video, but it's like the other thing is like, you know, there's a certain like age ranges that are like attracted to handsome men, but then there's like certain age ranges that like are not, or like they hide it, or they're not willing to. Like for example, I'll be like, sometimes if I'm about to catch the bus, there'll be like a group of like 14-year-old girls or something like sitting off in the corner, and I can see they're like being all loud and stuff, and then like looking over at me, loud, looking over at me. It's like they're trying to get my attention, right? But they're like, you know, obviously like 14 or whatever, and then they smile, and then they kind of go back, and they're acting like they're trying to, you know, talk about something, but really they're just trying to get my attention. And it's crazy because it's like, okay, well, you see these young girls doing that, but then the women my age don't do anything like that. They don't show any signs. The women, once you get in the mid-20s, it's like they're indifferent. They don't care. It's like the 14-year-old girls know who they're attracted to, you know, handsome men, but once the women get in their mid-20s, it's like they can't show any attraction for a man. And obviously sitting over there in the corner being loud and whatever not, and obnoxious, is not the way that a 20-year-old would do it. But it's like they're not even showing any signs, you know? And well, I do want to say something, that sometimes very young women like 19 or 20 will be into me, right? And then after that, it's like 35-year-old women, like up to 40. Almost every time I go on a date, it's with someone who's like 20 or like 35, and like had already been married or like had a serious relationship or something like that. But for some reason, the women who are like 23, 24, 25, for some reason, like I've yet to really find like someone to go on a date with who's around that age. They're either like 20 or like 19, 20, 21, or like 35, 36, 37. And it's, I mean, part of that might just be because I'm kind of old soul, so the older women like me for that, but the younger women are more in touch with their primal attraction. But it's just some weird stuff where it's like things don't go as you would have thought, you know. And it's just, I've got just various examples of things, you know. I even have this friend, right, who's a total, like, I call him a Giga Chad. He's a workout trainer. He's like 6'3", or maybe 6'2". Dude is ripped, shredded, like he's handsome. He's a Giga Chad. I call him a Giga Chad. And there was this coworker that we had, who she's probably like a 6 out of 10 attractiveness maybe, and she really likes to bake cookies, right? And she would bake some cookies, but this Giga Chad dude wouldn't eat it because he's a gym trainer and he can't, right? But he asked her out on a date and she said no. And it was like, what? So I'm thinking in my head, you know, because I kind of know as a more handsome man, I'm thinking, okay, he wouldn't eat the cookies. This made her feel insecure because she's a little overweight and he's way more attractive than her. So she didn't go, right? She didn't go because of that, because of insecurity. If you have a different interpretation, obviously, you know, you weren't there, but if you have a different interpretation, that's what I think it is. He would not eat the cookies and this made her feel overweight and lazy. Really, he's just a dude trying to do the right thing. He's just trying to eat healthy. I mean, you know, it's like, and the dude is shredded and he looks good. And he would tell me, he's like, women are afraid of me. That's what he would say. He would say, I scare away the women. And he's quite sociable dude. I heard that he has a girlfriend now, but he's a quite sociable guy. And bro, like I'm saying, he was shredded and he's hardworking. He's got discipline. But for some reason, it ain't like that. Like, I found, you know, a lot of women, I think they date like, they date like the movie Superbad. They either choose a guy who looks like McLovin or a guy who looks like Jonah Hill. It's either the skinny nerd or the teddy bear dad bod. But like, for some reason with the handsome men, they seem to got a problem with it. But, you know, at the end of the day, I do think that being handsome does help because of the primal attraction. And maybe it does help with cold approach because I think people have more of a trust for good looking people. Maybe they think that you're less likely to hurt them or something like that when you approach if you're good looking. I think in those certain senses it does help, and I'm confident that I can end up getting a good looking woman who's a good woman. I think it just takes extra time, right? So I think that if you are better looking, like, or if you want to be better looking, I don't necessarily think it's the way to go. I think that, like, don't sit around and think, oh, if I was just 6'5" and good looking, like, yeah, I don't think it works like that. Like, you're lucky if you're a 7 and you can dress up, smell good, have good hygiene, things like that. And like, I think even in that sense, it's better because it makes you more approachable. Women will approach you. If you're like the man who's handsome, you have to kind of approach the woman every time because she's not going to do it for you. And you can actually end up scaring the woman away because you're doing all the approaching rather than her. She don't got the courage to come up and talk to a more handsome man. But yeah, I also think there's just weird standards for like more attractive men, and where it's like we're kind of like things that you have to learn. Like, as a handsome man, your job is not really to get the woman attracted to you. Your job is basically to maintain their positive interpretation of you already. So it's a totally different game, which is harder. It's a lot harder to maintain a good first impression because they think well of you right when they see you, or like in the sense that they think you have good social skills. They think that you got all these skills, but it's like, that's actually harder because the standard is higher. But then again, it goes back to the fact, okay, well, maybe the woman needs us to be vulnerable. She needs us to show imperfections in order to feel comfortable. So that's the other thing. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of confusing. But I do think that I do okay in dating, and I think especially for this modern world, it's not easy for anybody, because a lot of women just don't want to date, or they don't understand what's going on in their own body. They don't understand the role of their own primal attraction and natural attraction to men. They're afraid of it. It comes against their career goals. It doesn't make sense if they're trying to compete with us. They wouldn't want a strong masculine force. But yeah, I don't think that you necessarily need to be attractive. I think it can almost help if you're not. And yeah, but I mean, I'm okay with being more conventionally attractive, because I mean, I'm just gonna roll with my punches, bro. And you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I don't know. Moral of this video is that you don't necessarily need to be the most attractive person. So stop talking about, someone in my comments said, oh, you're a base Chad or something like that. I can't remember who it was. It's okay that you said that, but dude, just look around, bro. When girls dating like the movie Superbad, they either choose a man who's nerdy, skinny, looks like McLovin, or some dude who looks like Jonah Hill. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Peace. Have a good one. See you in the next one. And the other thing is, with actual really older women, like middle-aged women, I get a lot of smiles from like 50-year-old women, walking their dog or whatever. They'll just straight up smile and blush looking at me. But I don't get that from younger women. Never. It's like their ego is too high. It's like they're in the state of being or state in their life where they're still trying to prove their identity, and they can't even act like they're attracted. You know what I'm saying? And that's the weird thing, because it's like, I'm not trying to date middle-aged women. It's not like they're even trying to date me. They're probably married and just smiling or whatever. But yeah, I think, even a lot of like women who are my age, or if they like an attractive guy, maybe they'll just treat him like he's a muse. They'll be like, oh, like, he's attractive, but it's just like, I'm not actually gonna date him. It's just like a muse for me, entertaining. And the other thing is, I think that a lot of people will say like, okay, well, handsome dudes can just, at the very least, they'll get, can get sexually easily. But it's like, well, even if that was the case, then every woman I would be asking out would be saying yes. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't work like that at all. Like, it doesn't work like that. And I think it's actually the opposite. If I ask a woman to a bar, which is the typical, I guess I try to present myself as Christian, but it's like, if I did ask a woman to a bar, even though that's the type of situation that would be more likely to turn into a hookup, even, and the alcohol would relax us, I'll still get no's on that. So I think women can even be more suspicious if you ask them to the type of environment that is a hookup. And especially, it's like, very feminine women. If you date very feminine women, they're not gonna want to be seen as a whore. And I think that's even another reason why many women won't choose attractive men, because they want to look modest. They don't want their friends and family thinking that they chose a man based off of their sexual desire. Because if they look like they chose an attractive man, it can make them look like they're overly sexual, which makes a woman feel immodest, and she doesn't want to feel like that. So I think that's another reason why women won't choose attractive men. But if I'm just theory crafting, if I'm just making all this stuff up, I don't know, if I'm a professional yapatron, then drop that down in the comments if you see that. I would love to see you, correct me. But yeah, I still think I'm doing like good enough. I think I'm doing good enough to where I can find a pretty woman and marry her, but who's a good woman. But I don't think it's necessarily easier. I think it's better if you're mid-level attractiveness. But yeah, drop one down in the comments. Peace. I just think like a lot of people don't understand, like when a woman goes into fight, flight, freeze mode, like she's not gonna be able to act right, you know, properly, like, and that's not a good thing, because if you're an attractive man, you can send a woman into fight, flight, freeze. Like, for example, I was even at this church get together not that long ago, and it was this table of you know, young adults. It was a young adults group, and then there was this younger girl. She was an adult, but maybe a little bit younger. And when I sat down, she was like completely frozen, bro. And I know it had to do with me, because she would like barely look at me, but she could like look at other people. And she was like just fucking, or excuse my language, she was just frozen, bro. Like, I'm talking like her, she was just like, she had her arms in like one position, and she was just like frozen. If I would talk to her, she would like turn like a robot, bro. Like, she was so stiff. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can tell that chick likes me. She's so frozen. But if I ask her out, no, she ain't gonna show up. Virtually zero chance. Even so, you see, like, the more the woman likes me, the lower, possibly the lower chance that she's gonna show up on the date. So it doesn't actually necessarily do you a favor if you got a woman freezing on you. She's freezing. She struggled to even converse. And now if you ask her out, okay, she'll sit at home and fantasize and feel good about it. But is she gonna show up? Probably not. You know, and like, it's not even the only example. Even at work, I remember there was this girl who was kind of pretty, and I was pretty, and I remember she was pretty shy. She would claim to not be shy, but other people would say she was. And I remember that I introduced myself to her, just a basic introduction, like, because she was new at my work. I was like, oh, welcome here, you know, like, what is gonna be your job, blah, 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 are you a student? Just a basic introduction, kind of boring, and not even really like, I don't think I was tipping it off at all that I was attracted to her. It was just like a normal conversation. And then from that day forward, I would see her, like, if I saw her in the hallway, I would see her go left, like see her go right, like she was dodging me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could tell she was attracting me when we would talk. She'd be like blushing and stuff. But if I would see her from far away, she would just dodge me, blah, 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 like going the other way. And I was like, this chick is avoiding me, you know, just for nothing. Just because I said hi and introduced myself. And, you know, if you're like, you know, if it's affecting some more shy women, it's got to be affecting other women too. You know, not just the shy women. With the more shy women, it's more obvious. But with other regular women, it's gonna affect them too. And there can be women who are super shy but don't admit it. They hide behind the social media, you know, their confidence looks like it's there because they can pose a few times and smile and post it, but they're really nervous, anxious people. So I think that's a reason why a lot of women end up going out with the dad bod, the dude with the dad bod who's like less attractive, who sits in her cubicle or whatever at work, because maybe they can go out for a couple work meetings or something like that, and then she thinks, oh, or a couple work lunches to talk about the work project or whatever, and then she ends up thinking, oh, this guy could be a good father to my children. You know what I'm saying? Where they never even get the chance to think that about a handsome guy because they're too nervous or, you know, unwilling to even see a handsome person as fatherly material. But yeah, all right, I'm gonna get out of here. And even the most, you know, physically attractive women are gonna feel, even if they do want to have sex with a man, they're gonna be afraid probably to show themselves naked, because like a lot of attractive women are insecure. They have some body dysmorphia or something like that, so they probably way rather show themselves in front of some dad bod dude than a dude who's attractive, right? Because like, I feel like attractive dude is gonna make her feel uncomfortable, make her feel insecure about herself.